Hello there.
Hello.
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 Hello, imbecile.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, guys. Oi.
Hello.
Before it's too late, please like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications.
I'm already scared.
Frightened, are you?
Yeah. Welcome to We Got a Mystery.
Sponsored, kind of, allowed by Scary Mysteries. Our friend Andrew over at Scary Mysteries providing the videos for us. Whoa, who was that? Was that Limbo Red? It didn't even look like her. Oh my goodness. Somebody
Nice hat.
bought a hat.
She's busy drinking wine from a reality show. I saw.
Good
Facebook.
for her. Yeah, we got a mystery. Basically, we go through and we grab several different videos. Today's videos, one will cover encounters with what could possibly be creatures that we didn't know about. Creed. These are actual eyewitness encounters that we feel are very reliable. Very, very reliable.
I'm sure, yes.
We've got 5 strange and shocking mysteries we're going to cover right away. And then I believe an odd number of 6 cases of, well, not an even number, but 6 cases, Creed, of what can only be explained as ghost sightings. Now, today's poll question: are ghosts real? Simple, Creed. Yes, no, or
Straight up.
I saw one.
Any ghosts, just like, I see dead
Yeah. Go, not the ghost that comes in here, hangs out with us from England.
people.
A completely
that ghost.
different.
I think
kind
that
of
ghost is
ghost.
real. Just so you
That
know.
ghost may be real. He haunts a lot of places.
Just FYI, no OG show tonight. That's why we're doing We Got a Mystery, and enjoy it until Andrew just blocks us both and then just says F you. Real quick, YouTube junkie, look at you with 20 bones. We ain't even started yet. Thank you. You get a hot. You get a hot.
I'll give you the peace. He'll give you the love.
Thank you so much. Well, let's jump into it. Let me hit the space bar and see if that works. You ready?
Go ahead.
Am I on the right tab? That's my problem, though. I got to be on the right tab.
Oh well. Professionals.
On occasion, certain mysteries
Bat it up, dude.
look like they will remain unexplained forever. But as fate would have it, sometimes the answers are actually found.
Hey.
The next stories are rare.
Hey, baby girl.
These are 5 strange
There's a lot of very old pictures.
mysteries. Number 5, Zeb Quinn.
Great name.
Great name.
In North Carolina on January 2nd, 2000, Zeb Quinn finished his shift at Walmart and made a point
Spooky.
to go look at a car he was interested in buying with his friend and co-worker Robert Owens. They each drove their own vehicles and were last seen by...
All right, well, he's kind of spooky. By the way, I was getting ready for a North Carolina haunted Dollar General, but it was actually a Walmart.
I can't believe that no one had ever looked at that guy and said he might be up to something.
No kidding.
He looked shifty. Just
security
saying.
cameras at around 9:15 p.m., buying sodas at a nearby gas station. Owens told investigators that after they left the station, Quinn signaled for him to pull over. They did, and then Quinn said he received a page and needed to make a phone call.
Beeper.
After returning from a payphone,
Oh, he's a
Quinn
kid.
was said to be visibly frantic, telling Owens they would need to look at the car later on.
He was frantic because he's never seen one of those things at the mall for your face.
The the one that Rob Lowe says you should use.
Yes.
He got in his vehicle and in a rush accidentally rear-ended Owens' vehicle, but promised to pay for any of the damages before driving off.
Buff that right
Later
out.
that evening, Owens admitted himself to the hospital with a fractured rib and head injury he said he received during a separate accident that occurred later that night. even though a report was never filed.
Bad luck.
18-year-old Quinn didn't return home until the next day his mother reported him missing. Several leads were followed up, but it wasn't until days later when Quinn's Mazda protege...
By the way, real quick, Robert, thank you for the 500 stars on the Facebooks.
Mind blown. Thank you, Robert.
Nice car, by the way. Yeah, the spacebar thing doesn't work for me because I'm on 3 different tabs.
Son of a bitch.
So every single time, like if I were to do that, I'd have to click the
It's
tab
multiple
for-
steps instead of one step.
Yeah.
protege was found abandoned in a parking lot. Its car's headlights had been left on, and a live puppy was
hunted
found
dog.
inside. In the back window was a drawing of a pair of lips with an exclamation point.
And it said
On
Love
the-
Creed underneath it.
Nah.
Meanwhile, the driver's seat had been adjusted to fit a smaller person other than Quinn. Investigators collected forensic evidence and began looking into the case as a possible homicide.
Either that or she was just going to
Though Owens
Walmart.
was held as a person of interest, there was nothing conclusive that tied him to the 18-year-old's disappearance. Over time, the case grew cold, and it wasn't until 2015, when Owens would be tied to another case, that it would begin to warm up again.
Uh-oh, getting hot.
Owens was hired to help do construction work at
Hey
the home
now.
of Christy and Joseph Codd. The couple was
Joseph did
reported
well.
missing after they had failed to show up for a scheduled trip to Mississippi.
Is that
When
the hat
police
Limbo had
conducted a
on?
welfare check, they thought something was amiss since their dogs remained unattended. Soon after, a caller reported seeing Owens throwing garbage bags away at a private site.
That son of a
He
bitch.
checked in on the contents and found items belonging to Christy. Owens was detained.
Obviously, the dude is not from the Carolinas if he's like not just chucking it out at a.
Yeah, he should have been throwing it in a pond and shooting it with a gun. That's
I
the
mean, come on.
regular thing to do from North Carolina.
It's not just clearing out your vehicle while you're driving down the road. You know.
Just saying.
Thank you, Lambo Red, with 10 bucks. You got very generous tonight, you guys. I love it.
Yeah, should we call your boss? Is he a fan? Talk to him.
Interviewed and shortly after was charged with first-degree murder for the death of the couple and their unborn child.
Oh no!
He had apparently murdered them, then dismembered the bodies as human remains were found in a wood stove inside Owens' house.
We take that shovel and beat his
Now,
head.
Owens became the primary suspect in the disappearance of Quinn, considering he was the last person seen with him. Police received a tip about how Owens was building a pond during the time of Quinn's disappearance, and when they excavated the site, found fabric and leather materials, along with unknown...
Wait a minute. Okay, so pro tip. I didn't even know this was coming. So he was going to build his own pond and then
Sink the treasure.
didn't get it done. Question in the chat, real quick. What did you get at Checkers tonight?
Who, me?
Yes.
I got a Big Buford, I think was the name of it. Named after Buford Justice, of course, fame.
They have, I'm kind of jealous because we don't have any Checkers around us. Closest is like up in Shelby. They have very good, I think, fish sandwiches are very good there. And even their chicken sandwiches are pretty good. Do they still do the mushroom and Swiss every once in a while?
I haven't seen it. No.
Ah, it's so good. It's better than Hardee's, I think.
Bob, are you engaged to be married?
That's what he said in the chat.
Bob,
Yeah.
did you not see that on We Got a Case today? That guy having to give up all that monies?
Yeah. I texted Emily, said we might need to think about not ever getting married again.
That's be careful, Bob. For God's sakes, be careful.
And Bob, Lambo Red sent us money. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bob.
All right. Sorry,
Proper
getting
way to
sidetracked.
congratulations.
It's the problem with us. We talk so much. It's hard. That's why it's good that we can pause things. Chuck the Duck says, you guys are nonstop entertainment. Thanks again. Try to watch most of your shows, but damn, you guys are hard to keep up with. Good job. Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, I listen. If we were 20 years younger, it'd be on 14 hours a day, probably.
It would never stop.
Right.
Own hard substances. Owens pled guilty to the Codd murders and was later found guilty
Brenda.
by a grand jury for the death of Zeb Quinn. Even though it was 17 years after the fact, Owens still would not admit to the crime, let alone explain his motive. Number 4, the Bermuda Triangle. Considered as one of the most enigmatic places in the world, the Bermuda Triangle has been...
So I actually asked my grandfather when he was alive. I was much, much younger, but I was fascinated with the Bermuda Triangle back then and did a bunch of reading about it because, we only had AOL dial-up. But anyways, he was a Marine officer, went through many, many times. I said to him, I said, does it scare you to go through there? And I don't remember his exact words, but I remember him saying I'd been through there tons of times, and a lot of people don't even really think about it. It's a thing.
It covers a lot of area.
But, I guess if you're a sailor, if you will, out on the water a lot, you just don't think about it. I guess it kind of makes sense.
Fun fact, that's Creed's grandfather's boat.
Memorial.
There it is.
Many say it's a cursed area and that more ships, planes, and people have disappeared here than any other spot on the planet. Also known as the Devil's Triangle, there are several theories as to why the Bermuda Triangle is so dangerous. Some believe it once housed the mythical island of Atlantis. Atlanteans are regarded in myth as having advanced technology.
Look at mermaids.
When their island sank into the bottom of the sea, their supposed fire crystals, which provided power and energy to the people there, still continued to affect the area even today. Hence, ships sink and planes disappear as they are drawn into this strong...
Well, so that happened to me the other night. I went to McDonald's. This is where I think I talked about it a couple of times at McDonald's, and they had a bus come through of like basketball, high school basketball or whatever, and they were out of food. So I went down to Cookout where it was wrapped all the way out into the road, and I'm talking that had to have been 40 cars, if not more. And then I gave up, and I said, all right, going to Bojangles, and they had chicken supremes and mashed potatoes and like one other thing, and that was it. No, absolutely no biscuits.
Look, I tried to order Burger King. And I put the order in. My DoorDasher goes to pick it up, and then he calls me. He says, "Hey, they won't give me your order. They said they're not doing DoorDash tonight."
After taking
the order, confirming the order, him coming there to pick it up, and then they won't give it to him, saying they're not doing.
So that dude's completely screwed. As obviously you are as well, but
so I ended up getting a refund and $20 extra credit.
Others say it's a place rich with hydrate gas, which are
free
prone to blowouts. The gas can release in giant plumes, sinking ships and planes when it reaches far enough into the sky.
Magic crystals, Creed.
Disappearances of large vessels in the region during the war fueled the mystery of this 434,000-mile stretch of land and sea even further. Some of the most famous disappearances include the World War I fuel tanker, the USS Cyclops, along with the 309 people that were on board.
It wasn't even late. It was like 8 o'clock at night. I could understand if I'm going through like Jack in the Box at 3 o'clock.
Bojangles doesn't stay open very late.
No, I know that. Well, that's
10 o'clock,
too.
Maybe at the absolute.
Yeah,
latest.
I think ours are 9.
Maybe not. Yeah, I think ours closes at 9.
Yeah.
Then its 2 sister ships also disappeared in the area in 1941. By 1945, a squadron of 5 bomber planes known as Flight 19 disappeared.
I remember that.
Rescue effort was mounted with 13 men on board, but their plane also vanished. Dr. Carl Kruzelnicki from Australia believes that the answer to this mysterious place is that there's absolutely no mystery at all. Based on statistics, he says the number of disappearances happening in and around the triangle is the same as that of any other part of the world. And the reason for the disappearances is the same as well, because of human error and weather patterns. He goes on to say that the Flight 19 squadron leader arrived with a hangover, never took a watch with him, and had a prior history of getting lost.
I totally believe that one.
It's
But his
possible
drag
that
his name through the mud and he's
pilots panicked or simply didn't know what else to do and ended up running out of fuel. Meanwhile, the rescue plane that was sent to retrieve them and also vanished, Kruzelnicki noted that a nearby tanker actually saw that plane blow up. He says the Mariner plane was prone to vapor leaks when carrying a fuel tank, possibly causing it to explode.
Oh, God.
It's also worth noting that after the plane disappeared, the same model plane was grounded from use by the military. So could it be as simple as that, and people are just looking to create a mystery? There are other proposed theories, including
Like
unusual
Frosthead.
cloud formations that show up there, causing huge winds and tall waves without warning. Whatever the truth may be, this is one mystery that might have already been solved, but people just refuse to accept it.
I don't like his answer.
Number 3, Beast of Bodmin Moor.
The beast.
For years, strange sightings of a beast have been reported in the forest surrounding Dartmoor, England.
Shadow.
Rumors of a supposed alien beast
Oh,
haunted
God.
the area as it
Good
fed on lives.
Lord.
That's a beaut.
Oh my God! Look at the teethers on that thing.
Christy, I think this is only our 3rd episode. So
This is only the second one that's been public. The first one was on a
Oh.
members only.
well, there you go. Drunk as a skunk.
Stock, terrorizing the farmers and their families. This unusual creature was all black and would emit a terrifying human-like.
Is that supposed to be it right there? Because
Isn't that your cat, Creed?
that's my cat that comes on stream all the time.
We've seen this cat in question.
Remember the one video of that lady doing the news story, and something like that walks by,
Mm-hmm.
and she don't notice it there for a second? That was a great video.
Scream whenever it attacked.
Ooh.
Various grainy pictures soon emerged, and after that, the locals began to embrace the terrifying
These
myth.
pictures look nothing
And soon
like
the Beast of Bodmin became a public spectacle, showing up in parades, festivals, books, and various articles.
Kids love this murderous beast.
As it turns out, the mysterious beast might be a little more normal than expected. For many years, claims of actual big cats roaming around Dartmoor have circulated.
Mm-hmm.
In 1997, zoo experts were called in to investigate a set of paw prints found, and they were determined to belong to a large puma.
With a fire in
In
his mouth.
1978, famous circus owner Mary Chipperfield was forced to shut down her circus.
Glenn, you know Mary Chipperfield by any chance?
Well, I think he toured with her at one point. He was a guitarist and bassist at the same time.
Her large cats were being driven to their new home in the Dartmoor Zoo when allegedly Mary couldn't bear to see the cats locked up. Instead, she released
Just let
her
'em
favorite
go.
breeding pair along with another male. When she reached the zoo, she only turned in 2 large cats instead of the 5 that were supposed to come. She simply told the zoo that the other cats escaped when her car
There's
broke
Glenn
down.
right there.
In the end, no investigation was done because it wasn't illegal to release exotic animals until 1981. Soon after that, residents would report seeing large cats in the area attacking livestock. The current owner of the zoo, Benjamin Mee, admits he was informed that several pumas were released into the wild around the 70s and 80s. But he doesn't know whether the story of Miss Chipperfield is accurate or not. Meanwhile, the founder of the British Big Cat Society, Danny Bamping, mentions he had heard the story of the release of pumas in Dartmoor before, but no one had ever asked him about it. He adds the pumas could have survived in the climate and may have even wandered off.
Hello there, Daily News Update.
Daily News.
Daily News.
Wouldn't you shit your pants if you come out and there's one of these giant pumas just wandering around where they shouldn't be?
Well, I'd shit my pants if I was just out and see anything kind of like roaming around that little bit, frightening.
Creed just got scared looking at the woods, let alone being in them.
Yes. If you imagine a puma or something like that would scare the living crap out of me. For sure.
Exmoor and Bodmin, where the sightings were also reported. If there was a living population of pumas once before, it seems they may have all died out in the harsh winter of 2010. No sightings have been reported
Killer
since
storm.
then, and the supposed Beast of Bodmin has vanished as well.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of
Number
snow.
2.
That could have done it.
Sarah De Leon.
Somebody just flushed the toilet.
Well,
In December of 1989, 18-year-old Sarah De Leon
Hey
was
now.
last seen leaving her boyfriend, Matt Utland's home in Kansas.
He murdered
Several
her.
hours later, her bloodied body was found discarded near the train tracks.
Hey, that's where Hobo lives right there. I've seen that spot.
he frequents
Maybe it
the
was-
area. Maybe he had something to do with that.
Maybe it was him.
Let's go on.
She had multiple stab wounds in the back, neck, and chest.
And the forehead, too.
Meanwhile, her car was found 22 miles away. Investigators
notice
combed the
her,
vehicle for evidence, but nothing
face right
conclusive came up. And they also
Well,
noted there was no
she had
sign
the
of
thing on her
sexual
forehead.
assault
Yeah.
on the victim. Family and friends described Sarah as a sweetheart, and her mother could only remember her having possibly one enemy named Caroline Coon, who was
it's definitely her. Pierce says, I've had a ghost in every house, even a child, and sitting on the end of my. That's beyond freaky. The mattress would sink down or sink. Discovered later she'd been accidentally run over by. Oh my god!
69 people have voted on our poll, Creed. Only 54 likes. We're not doing our job.
I'm so sorry. And 86 of you here total. We appreciate it. If you like this, like it, subscribe, notifications on. I had some situations with ghosts too. My last place in Myrtle Beach, I'm almost certain. He only stayed right in the kitchen. It's because of things that were like knocked out of my hand a bunch of times, or that I've dropped in the kitchen.
Butterfingers.
That I feel I don't think so. I completely blame it on him. I really do.
Ex-girlfriend of Sarah's boyfriend, Matt. For years, her death remained a mystery, and it wasn't until July of 2014 when investigators reopened the case because of advances in DNA technology. By 2016, they named Caroline, who is now 48, as a suspect. Although she was on top of the list during the initial investigation, no evidence tied her to the crime. Eventually, Caroline married and had 2 children before moving to Missouri, where she worked as a real estate agent. In October of 2016, she was officially charged by police of first-degree murder for the death and stabbing of Sarah.
That's remarkable.
Apparently, she had threatened her at her home, saying she would cut off all her hair just days before she was found dead. In addition to that, police believe Caroline was tied to another crime in Missouri as well. In 1994, Kansas City resident Diana Alt was found murdered inside her home.
Great hair.
She'd been watching the Super Bowl with relatives and returned home to put her children to sleep. She was later found dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Her 4-year-old son had been locked inside the closet, and nothing was taken except for her husband's handgun, which was later found to be the murder weapon.
Oh, no.
Diane had told family she had received harassing phone calls and messages.
That's a picture of her on 2020 or Dateline.
Yes, they're confessing.
Prior to the incident, and was so frightened she changed her locks and phone number. Caroline's involvement stems from the fact that she actually had an affair with Alt's husband, Tim.
Farmer Tim.
He decided to break it off and return to his wife. Just days later, Diane Alt was dead.
See how she couldn't resist him.
Despite Caroline's arrest, unfortunately, the Alt case still remains open. During the preliminary hearing, the judge ruled there was insufficient evidence to charge her with Diane or Sarah's death, and so she's been set free.
Wow.
Number 1, Doris Dewberry and Valerie Lane. For nearly 4 decades, the death and murder of 12-year-old Valerie Lane and 13-year-old Doris Dewberry has haunted families, detectives, and the community of Olivehurst, California. On November 11th, 1973, the 2 young girls left their home to head to a nearby mall for some shopping. They were seen up until the early evening, but when both girls didn't return home, their mothers called police the following day.
13 and 12.
Just hours later, their bodies were found near a dirt road at Camp Far West Lake. They had been raped, and each one was killed with several gunshot wounds from close range.
Ugh.
A large-scale investigation.
I think I just said 1973, though. So, I mean...
Still, 12-year-olds were way more mature back in 1973.
I was going to say times were different then, but well, they both.
How can they be? Look what happened.
Right.
Obviously, they weren't any different.
And over 60 possible suspects were interviewed. However, nothing came of it. Eventually, the case slowed down and over time became nearly forgotten. Incidentally, in 2014, an investigator who quote-unquote had free time on his hands was going through the old case files and decided to send the obtained semen sample from the crime scene for DNA testing. The sample was taken from Dewberry's body and had been preserved for over 40 years. It took 7 months for the results to come in, but when it did, the DNA directly implicated cousins William Harbour and Larry Patterson.
Not these guys.
Both men have been linked to multiple crimes since then, which meant their DNA profiles were placed in the database. Patterson had actually raped 2 other women in 1976 and was also arrested for failing to register as a sex offender in 2006.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Harbor had
Fits
several
the part.
drug felony charges. Patterson was immediately arrested.
Kresk, I saw that. It was like a 2-week investigation about trafficking. And it was, 4 Disney employees.
That's crazy.
Oklahoma, and Harbor was arrested just hours after the results came in. He actually still lived in the same community. It was just doors away from one of the victims' families.
Was the wind blowing during the picture?
Both men were 22 years old in 1973 and were not investigated, even though they were familiar with the family and the girls during the time. The men were tried under the 1973 laws, and so they could not be up for the death penalty since it didn't exist then. Instead, in 2017, they each received a life sentence and will remain behind bars for the rest of their lives.
That doesn't seem fair. Just because it happened
There
in
were 5
1973, I go
strange
by
and
the
shocking
laws of
solved mysteries.
1973.
Time will tell is a phrase often used. As these cases have proven, time can provide answers and sometimes a sense of closure and justice. If you like this video, then please remember to subscribe to our channel.
Seriously, though,
Each week we'll have a
subscribe
new
to their
video for
channel.
you
It
to
is.
watch.
The channel is awesome.
Thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you next week.
I'll have to find the one that has the link where you're supposed to click it to come watch our show. Oh, hell.
I thought you left the channel, Mikey.
You back again, Mikey?
But great to see you, Mikey. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to We Got a Mystery.
Don't even think about it. I'll let him know and he'll take it down.
A werewolf, Bigfoot, a slimy 3-legged monster. For some, the mere mention of these creatures garners a chuckle.
What the hell is that, Creed?
That is a big-brained hand that I believe came out of Roger. Not our Roger from American Dad or something. I don't know. It's a hand with a big brain, I think, in one eye.
It's like a hand with a giant sack.
Yeah.
With maybe it's a one-eyed monster.
I mean, it does look like an eye, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And more eyes inside of his eye.
Sense of fear and fascination.
How weird.
But the idea that there may be many beasts out there yet to be discovered is something that should interest us all.
Yes.
These are the top 5 most credible creature encounters. Number 5, the story of Xana. Known as the Wild Woman, Xana was...
Whoa! Known as the Wild Woman Wednesday. Huh?
Thanks, Jules. That's a Xana. Wow. She's got the eyes of Mona Lisa.
Yes, I want a painting of this. I never knew what creepypasta was until I read a really weird, very long story. And it said creepypasta at the bottom of it, and I didn't understand what that was. And I had to look it up, and then I was like, oh. I see.
Thought I heard something behind me.
Well, those woods look perfect tonight. I'm glad that Karen didn't get a chance to use her $1,000 a month budget
to cut down these beautiful trees, right?
Found and captured by local hunters as they explored the dense forests of the Oxfordshire region of Georgia and Russia. The year was 1850, and the hunters were scavenging the forest for whatever they could find when they saw something that looked like a half-ape, half-woman. Much of her body, including her torso, legs, arms, and fingers, were mashed.
Whoa!
Xana!
Those are some low-hanging fruit, huh?
No dignity. Oh, no
I
doubt.
like how you got the arm through one of them to walk. Does that help with the bouncing movements while you're climbing the mountains?
Is she about to squirt somebody with that thing?
By the way, it's beautiful hair. Is that allowed on YouTube? I guess it is.
I guess so. It's a mystical beast, Xana.
Xana's got some huge.
You ever heard of knockers?
Auburn hair. Despite being ferocious and violent, the hunters
Big-breasted.
captured her and took her back to the nearby village of Tikina, where she was given to a nobleman, Eji Geneba. She was given the name Xana. At first, she was so violent she had to be placed in a cage where she dug herself a hole in the ground to sleep. They couldn't go near her to give her food, so it was thrown at her instead.
Sounds like my wife every time I tell her it's
Over
time to go
time,
to work.
she calmed down and became more domestic.
The way that she was just laying right there, by the way. Reminds me of
The Who's
early
down in
Kyler's.
Whoville?
No, early Kyler's ex girlfriend with the drinks. You know, with the big drink you got in your hand right there.
Yes.
You know, she's laying there in the trash heap. Yeah, that one.
Dead. Over time, she calmed down and became more domesticated and was transferred to a larger enclosure and then later allowed to roam free. Although she was still vicious when in a bad mood, the villagers were able to go near her when she was happy. Xana learned how to grind stone and collect firewood and only showed fear when
Don't
her
burn your
master
tits,
Edgy would
Xana.
scold her. She was incredibly strong and had a huge tolerance for the cold. She hated wearing clothes because they made her feel hot, and it was said she could lift a 175-pound sack of rice with one hand up a hill.
Or just half of her boob.
Or one teat. The
She
same
was able to
thing. She's
climb
been
trees with
lifting
ease
weights
to
for a
reach
long
grapes,
time.
which she loved, and would often roam the forest at night.
I think he
But
does.
stayed close by because she was fed and sheltered. She ended up giving birth to several children, some of which survived while others died.
Stop,
stop.
Oh, those poor kids.
How did Xana get pregnant? Who was banging Xana? There were no other male counterparts around, just regular old folk.
There would be other animals.
No. I think somebody was slipping around.
She had some nice teats. I'm way behind that comments. There's so many of you. 94 of you, by the way. Thank you for hanging out.
69 of you over here with likes. I like that. If you're over on Facebook, share this out. Let them know we're doing something.
By the looks of all the comments, this is the time when we got to see the low-hanging fruit there. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I think that's when
you guys enjoyed that as much as we did.
She was so modest.
Oh, God.
Modest young girl.
Yes, you are, Sergeant. I saw it.
Horns in freezing water. Her children were of normal appearance, and the father gave 4 away to nearby villages.
Like
The 2
puppies.
girls were born in 1880 and 1882, and the 2 boys were born in 1878 and 1884.
Did they say anything else? Like if there was any other Xanas around, if you will, or
No, just the dad, quote unquote, gave away. He was giving the kids away like puppies. He's like, y'all want one? Y'all want one? I'll give you one.
And they all lived normal lives, assimilated into society,
That's one of
married,
them.
and even had families of their own. Xana died in 1890, and the location of her remains are unknown, so it's impossible to fully study. However, her son's skull has been studied and is said to be atypical, bearing similarities to those found during the Neolithic period, which was around 10,000 BC.
Yeah.
DNA testing of her relatives has concluded she was of sub-Saharan African ancestry, but they couldn't fit her in any known group. Many also believe she and her breed give credibility to the myth of the Almas, or the
God, how tall? Like 11 foot tall, unless that dude's like really little.
I mean, that's the most fit Bigfoot I've ever seen. So
But-
they had the skull of the son and examined it. So it's 100% real, Creed. They have
I know
She
they
had-
said that, but
look, man, I'm telling
Okay.
you. It's
how do you
real.
tell from the skull that you had tits all
guess-
the way to the ground?
Oh man, those were legendary. That's how they knew about those.
These are legendary creatures said to roam around Central Asia, Russia, and the Caucasus.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot. We were in such awe today with Mike from Law Talk with Mike. I forgot to tell him, would you buy the premium, please? Because his video, they had when he was watching the chase, there's like 4 ad breaks. That's like you gotta get that premium, man.
Go ahead and break down and pay for it.
Good looking dude there, huh?
Yeah, he is. Skull it.
They are considered to be more
Again.
wild people as opposed to apes, the Yeti, or Bigfoot. The Almas were bipedal, had reddish brown hair on their body, pronounced brow ridge, flat nose, and a weaker chin, all of which Xana possessed. Accounts of them date back to the 15th century, where Mongolian families had spotted and even interacted
See about the snowshoes or something there?
Damn Mongolians.
I'll BRB traffic and weather together on the 8s.
with them.
Of course.
There are those who speculate
Threes.
the Almas are relic Neanderthals. Whatever the truth may be,
Neanderthal.
it's an unusual point in our biological history and something that remains a fascinating mystery. Number 4, the Enfield Horror. Considered one of the most bizarre creatures ever to be reported, the Enfield Horror is not your run-of-the-mill creature. It all started in 1973 in the small town of Enfield, Illinois.
Thank you, Chuck.
Around 9 p.m. on April 25th, a young boy named Greg Garrett was in his backyard playing when suddenly he started screaming and running towards his parents in the living room. He told them a monster had stomped on his feet, tearing open his shoes with its claws. Police were called, but they couldn't find any signs of the creature.
A shoe-hating
creature.
creature.
About a half hour later, Henry McDaniel, Garrett's neighbor, found his children in a panic because they were hearing loud scratching noises on the front door. Thinking it was most likely a dog, Henry opened it and was shocked to find an unusual creature staring back. He slammed the door shut, grabbed his pistol, and headed back out to shoot whatever the beast was, but it leapt into the air so fast he lost sight of it. He then called the police, and they found unusual footprints, including those resembling a dog's, but with 6 toe pads. There were also only 3 legs and unusual scratch marks on his door, as he had said. When asked to describe what exactly it was he saw, Henry told them it had 3 legs on it, a short body, 2 little short arms coming out of its breast area, and 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. It stood 4.5 feet tall and was grayish in color.
He got a hell of a description, didn't he?
Get into the house. Soon enough, the account of McDaniel and little Garrett had made the rounds in the small town. Visitors, monster hunters, and curiosity seekers came in droves trying to capture or see it for themselves. 2 hunters reported spotting a gray monkey. They tried to shoot it, but it was too fast, while others claimed to have hit it, but it didn't faze the beast.
A big red
Other
neck
witnesses
like that.
came forward, including a news director for a radio station, WWKI, in Kokomo. While hunting, they spotted a gray ape-like creature that was hunched over an abandoned home near McDaniel's property. It was too fast for them to track, and it disappeared into the forest. Slowly,
Jules,
the
that's what I
reports
was
of
thinking
creature
right there.
sightings stopped, and to this day, no one knows what the Enfield Horror was. Many have proposed it could have been a misidentified animal, possibly a kangaroo or large dog, wildcats, or others. There are those that believe it may have been a genetically experimented on animal, and then others say it may have been an alien or even a demon of some sort. An interesting fact is that 40 miles away from Enfield, and 30 years prior, there were several reports of a strange creature in the town of Mount Vernon. It was described to be baboon-like and could leap great distances.
Baba Booey.
Also blamed for the various deaths of livestock in the area. Could it have been the same creature that had then traveled to Enfield? Or did all these people mistake some common animal for a monstrous creature?
Speaking of monstrous creatures, here comes Creed.
Number 3, the Converse wolf monster.
Converse? Does he wear Converse?
Werewolves are one of the most famous cryptid creatures out there. And one reported case of the man-beast happened in Converse, Texas. The story of the huge werewolf creature first began during the 1800s, but the most recent and commonly retold one happened in the 1960s. A rancher lived on a piece of land with his son, and while the father was a rugged man who preferred the pioneer's way of living, his son was more bookish and timid. In a bid to make a man out of him,
look at Snoopy's
forced
hair.
him to go out into the woods alone to hunt and kill his first deer. While reluctant, the boy couldn't say no, and so he set off. He headed to a heavily wooded area known ominously as Skulls.
Like, I could see that with so much swampy area in Louisiana. I'd imagine there's some weird stuff there, I would think.
Creed, did you see that last creature that we were talking about? The tore up the kid's shoes?
With the one with the hand boobs?
Little hand boobs and 3 feet. I think that kid just tore up his damn shoes and didn't want to tell nobody.
Went the long way around.
He ain't nowhere to be found. Chris wouldn't set foot in these woods.
Crossing, and after several hours on the hunt, saw that a large creature was stalking him. Fearing for his life, he ran back home and told his dad he saw a creature resembling a werewolf. True to fashion, the rancher dismissed the boy's claims and told him to go
Believe
back
a
out into
damn
the
word
woods
that kid ever
to
said.
resume his hunt.
Oh, we love this stuff. A lot of now the mythical creatures are a whole new thing for me. Love them because they're so wacky. But true crime stuff, I watch that almost every night before bed. I watch that chapter. I watch a lot of his stuff. I love it. For some reason, right before bed though, very odd. But
Creed likes to relax with a good murder.
I guess so.
Despite the fear, the boy obeyed his father and headed back. Several hours passed, and it was beginning to get dark when the boy still hadn't returned.
Road trip.
Now worried about his safety, the rancher gathered a search party, who began looking for him. As they made their way into the woods, the party was horrified at what they saw. A monstrous, hairy creature hunched over the boy's body, devouring him.
Oh,
They
shit.
fired their guns, and it fled. And the
It killed
creature,
him.
the werewolf, was described to be 8 to 9 feet tall and covered in thick, dark hair.
Get back there, Chris.
Devastated by the death, the rancher shut himself.
Kresk, I've seen a lot of the Mothman stuff from Adam the Woo, and I think other one with the glasses there that I watch all the time.
I can't believe the kid's dead. Like the kid's
Jacob.
murdered.
Jacob the Carpetbagger. That's it. They're both I know. Both have been there. Yeah, how about the dude hunched over him, eating him?
Creed, I believe he said he was devouring him. There was nothing said
devouring
about
him.
eating him.
Banquet meal called Devour. That's garbage, by the way.
Far from the world and became a recluse before ultimately dying. Today, the story of the Converse monster still makes the rounds. While many believe it could be a werewolf, others say it's possible it was a wood ape or Sasquatch. While Sasquatches are believed to not eat humans, they are credited as having similar diets to that of black bears. And on occasion, black bears do hunt meat, especially when...
Oh, I love Dan Bell, and I'm so glad that he's doing a little bit better. He had some mental things. Went on for quite a while, and he kind of his channel went dark for a while. I guess he's back. And by the way, on a Jacob the Carpetbagger episode, when he was in Florida at a fair, I think they were at the Strawberry Festival. The dude, is his name Rick? I think, yeah, the goofy dude that does the motels or hotels with him. Have you ever watched those? They're pretty interesting. They go into
There's a couple of them.
really bad motel rooms and kind of, dig around and see what they can find. Anyways, that Rick showed up with Jacob. Very odd, and that was very funny to see him.
comes as an easy meal.
Maybe.
Number 2, the folk monster. Dubbed as
fuck
the
was that?
southern Sasquatch, the folk monster is a mythical beast often sighted around the town of Folk in Miller County, Arkansas. It's described as a large hominid-like creature that's covered in long black hair. It stands 7 feet tall and weighs somewhere between 200 and 300 pounds.
Small
Big leg.
head.
According to witnesses, it's said to bear a chest width of 3 feet or more. When it moves, it almost looks like it's galloping, and its arms swing back and forth just like a monkey. It has bright red eyes and smells terrible, like a skunk or a wet dog. Additionally,
say something
footprints
else.
measuring 17 inches and having only 3 toes are attributed to this monster. Claw marks and various tracks have also been discovered in the area that it roams. Since the 1970s, the folk monster has been sighted.
Those claw marks were pretty cool. Did you see that?
They were legit.
The 1970s.
Not back far enough, I guess. Those are kind of neat, though.
Those are.
I mean, you imagine like walking around, you run up on that. That's kind of scary.
Have been discovered in the area that it roams.
Wolverine was in the woods.
Since the 1970s, the folk monster has been sighted in several swampy areas in the county, but there was one particular incident that defined its existence. In May of 1971, Elizabeth Ford was sleeping on her couch when she was awoken by a creature reaching through the screen window.
Apparently, she lived in a
thinking it
camper.
was a bear, her husband Bobby and his brother Don managed.
Okay, that's a great picture there.
Bobby and Don on the hunt.
Can you move a little over to the left so I can take a picture of this thing, please?
Make sure you get me into shot there, Don.
chase it away. However, just before midnight on May 2nd, it
That one
returned.
just let itself go.
This
No
time, it
kidding.
grabbed Bobby by the shoulders and threw him on the ground. He managed to crawl away to safety. He was brought to the hospital where he was treated
Oh!
for claw wounds and mild shock.
There's your scratches,
The
bud.
Fords thought they managed to hit the creature when they fired shots, but they couldn't find any sign of blood. When police came, they found tracks around the home, damage to the window, and scratch marks on the siding of the house.
Are you sure her boyfriend hadn't visited and tore the screen up? She's like, should have been here. It was a big hairy beast.
Did the house next to this not catch fire? That's like, is that
Fire
not from
damage.
heat?
He was pretty hot that day, Creed.
A couple of weeks later, the creature was seen crossing Highway 71, and soon more witnesses came forward. Some told of seeing an ape-like hairy creature, and further footprints were discovered. One of them was found in a soybean field, and it was scrutinized by the game warden.
Last one was
Couldn't
wearing clown
identify what
shoes.
type of animal it belonged to. After that, the popularity of the folk monster as well as
What's
the
he happy
resurgent
about?
sightings attracted locals and tourists. A movie was even made which put Folk County on the map.
I remember watching it as a
Today, many
kid.
still wonder whether the monster ever existed in the first place. But there's no denying that the high number of sightings that continue to grow make for an interesting addition to the tale. Number 1,
Scared
man
myself.
sees Bigfoot.
Here he comes.
Reports of Bigfoot have been around for a long time. Some believe it all to be a hoax, and others say there's no doubt they exist. The following is a 911 call capturing a terrified resident on the
God.
Kitsap Peninsula in Washington State.
Nice.
The call was recorded in 1990 when a man described seeing a large creature in his yard, and the authenticity in his voice is hard to deny. Have a listen and decide for yourself.
Oh boy.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All
Both?
I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something. It looks like a man. I don't know what it was. Just it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sure.
See up!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9". I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hang on.
He's right.
All right. The way that she just said, uh-oh, really leads me to believe she thinks he's full of crap, though.
Uh-oh. No, he's right outside the house right now. He's somebody needs to get the hell out of here. He just trampled all over my award-winning hot house tomatoes, and my wife is gonna come out here and beat his ass. You better call an ambulance because he's about to catch hell.
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
And the
He's
guy-
hung like a horse.
I don't know what... It's a big, real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person or somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
Listening to the call makes you wonder what it was he saw. When the police arrived, they could find no sign of anything being there. You can also tell that the man was hesitant to call it a Bigfoot and instead described it as a thing or possibly a big man dressed in black. What's
Johnny
most
Cash.
telling in making this a credible report is that you can sense the escalation of fear and seriousness in the call.
It's true. That's some pretty good acting if that was supposed to be fake, but you know.
Yeah, but Creed says adult film acting is fantastic, Oscar worthy. So, I mean, I think we could have reenacted that call.
A prank on 911 is punishable by jail time, and there doesn't seem to be any reason why a grown man would make something like this up. Today, Bigfoot sightings are still around, and many of them happen in the Pacific Northwest, an area known for large expanses of dense forest and sparse human population.
Thick bush and undergrowth.
So those were the top 5 most credible creatures.
That one's my
encounters.
favorite thing.
We like to dismiss anything that's out of the ordinary as a hoax, but these encounters lend credence.
Huh?
It's highly possible
Hey, he said my name.
Creedence.
world that we may not know anything about.
Shout outs.
If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel. And
Think
click
about
the
subscribing to our
notification
good
bell
friend
because
Andrew's
every
channel.
Sunday we're putting out new videos that we know you'll love.
Is that it, or we got one more?
Thanks for watching.
One more, baby. We're wrapping her up. Ghosts. Yeah, it's the subject of our poll. Now we're going to talk about something. Hold on to your hats. It's about to get spooky.
Are ghosts real? It's a question that no one has been able to answer, even though many have tried.
The poll is
Despite
right
a
now.
lack of concrete scientific explanations, the majority of people around the world do believe they exist, even if they haven't had a direct experience with the paranormal. Ghost videos are a very popular search on the internet, and there are thousands of fake videos out there. But if you search hard enough, you can find some compelling videos that are truly frightening and deserve a second look. If you don't believe in ghosts, then after watching this, you should.
Oh,
Whichever side of the
it's a
fence you're
bold
on,
claim.
get ready for a good scare.
Andrew is
Here are
like
the
flying
6
around
best
today.
real ghost videos.
He's done real good voice, I can tell.
Number 6, ghost filmed inside parking garage.
I just added in the one because the other one sounds like a toilet flush to me every time. So I'll just have that.
Ghost filmed in parking garage. I didn't know they haunted those. It can happen anywhere.
Garages can be creepy on their own. And this video
I don't find them creepy other than the fact that you think you're going to get murdered.
Well, that's kind of creepy.
I don't really think about ghosts haunting.
Monk's wife died in one, so I mean.
at night inside one is enough to make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. There's very little information about this video. All we know is that it was taken in a parking garage in Japan. The chief security guard of the building found something very strange caught in the security cameras.
Smothra.
Watch closely as a woman appears from behind the post and glides towards a car. She even looks as if she's walking backwards, with long hair covering her face and a flowing white dress.
Okay, that's...
In Japan, a yurei is a spirit that is deprived of a peaceful afterlife and often appears in a white burial kimono with...
Not gonna lie, that one gave me chills.
That was kind of
that's
legit, I think.
a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
She's moonwalking backwards.
Yeah, she never turned around, I don't think. I think we're looking at her from behind.
No, it disappears like right around.
Yeah,
long flowing black hair.
Morphs.
Could this be a yurei caught on video?
You're a what? You're a ghost? Oh, wow. Look. Yeah.
Yeah, see, it does. It's like she's moonwalking. Then just fades into... That one was...
Disneyland Ghost.
What?
Disneyland
It's
Ghost.
called the happiest place on earth. But did you know that Disneyland has had its fair share of ghost stories over the years? Taken
We
from
knew you would,
security
Pete.
cameras facing the haunted mansion at Disneyland, it shows what appears to be a male entity walking across the grounds.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Is that the ghost of Walt Disney?
What's interesting is that this
Oh,
figure
wow.
is captured in 4 cameras as he walks all around, and on one occasion,
Okay.
you can even see him in 2 cameras at once. Some say it could be the ghost of Walt Disney himself, but the fact is it could be anyone's ghost.
Did he walk really
The
fast?
Haunted Mansion is a famous attraction, but in recent years it's become a popular dumping ground for human remains.
Yeah, I've always heard that. That's a huge problem, and they actually have a way to take care of that because there is so much of it.
Yeah, they have actually a code that they'll use when they need to stop and clean up some stuff like that. A lot of ashes being dumped at the Haunted Mansion.
This one would be kind of sort of easy to say. Like, yeah, it's some sort of a light thing, but it's on 4 different. It's on 4
Right, it's
different
moving from
points.
camera to camera on Disneyland official security.
It's gotten so bad that Disneyland has needed to enforce strict security on the ride. Number 4, Headless Ghost video.
These are pretty freaky ones. These
The
are
next
pretty
video
good.
is old, but it still stands as one of the creepiest videos we found. This video was filmed by local Iraqi teenagers exploring an abandoned school. In it, they lazily point their camera phone everywhere as they explore the empty classrooms. At one point, as the camera sweeps into one of the rooms, a headless figure materializes out of nowhere and walks straight into the camera. Its gait, distinctly human, but it has no head. You would think the boys would run off after seeing it, but they just keep taping as if everything's okay. There's actually several more minutes of the video after this happened. Apparently, they didn't see what was standing right in front of them, which makes it seem all the more real. A few critics have called this a fake, but if it is, then it's done pretty well. What do you think?
Hey, Jim.
At least you made it, Jim. I don't know about that one.
Number 3, the Stanley Place Ghost. Considered as one of the most notoriously haunted buildings in England, Chester's Stanley Place has attracted its fair share of ghost hunters and spooks. For years, Stanley Place has been a hub of paranormal activity. Inside, visitors have reported sudden spikes in temperature, unusual footsteps, the rustling of a skirt, and even low audio murmurs. Many have reported seeing a 17th century lady, while others have caught a glimpse of James VII, Earl of Derby, its own the home.
With beautiful horror.
Footsteps in the gallery and a young girl with waist-length hair are often heard and seen. Even children's giggles and chatter emanate from various rooms. But are the Stanley Place ghosts real? The next video could prove they are. Ghost hunters Aaron Robinett and Joanne May are shown sitting by the stairs inside calling out to spirits. As they sit, they're completely unaware that what they've been looking for is appearing right behind them. It's tough to see, but watch closely at the staircase as 3 apparitions appear. A 4th one shows up closer to the bottom of the stairs and then walks up them. Could the apparitions in the video belong to the Victorian children who used to live in one of the cottages of Stanley?
God, this place is dusty as hell.
A lot of stories and a long history of hauntings here. So if you're ever in England...
don't you know those are orbs, not dirt?
The place is packed with orbs.
This one's kind of really stretching. It takes a lot to see that.
It is. It's tough to see.
It's worth checking out. Number 2, Ghost Inside DVD Rental Shop.
They'll go anywhere.
Really scary, as we've all found ourselves at one time or another the last to leave work. A place that is normally bustling with people.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, right?
So I'm wearing green, right?
Oh, that's right. I have to wear green tomorrow. Pub crawl. That sounds like fun.
I'll be a headless body tomorrow.
By day can be eerie at night when everything is quiet. Taken from security cameras inside a DVD rental store in Mexico, you can see an employee doing his rounds after the store is closed. He pushes in a cart filled with DVDs and proceeds to arrange them on the shelf. What happens next will make you think twice about staying alone after work.
Oh.
The setup of the video right there is just perfect. You know what I mean?
All right. You feel like that's a really weak security camera, if it is a security camera?
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't really look like. Obviously, this is from quite a long time ago. It's a DVD rental store, unless in Mexico they're still renting out DVDs.
Maybe.
And the fact that I could have been sitting behind there just about right in this area here and just pushed it a little bit. But that's the only thing.
Okay.
And the fact that we're advertising for BBC in Mexico is kind of odd too.
We're trying to get that rented out. It's in the adults only room.
Although he didn't seem too freaked out about the fact that
No,
his
I didn't
cart
say
just
it-
moved either. He just kept working.
Like it happened before, it's not a big deal. Now, can we pick it up and throw it at him?
Yeah, that real easily could be done with that also. I'm guessing it's going to move again. We're just going to see a BBC.
I think everything should just fly off the shelves.
Yes. Oh,
these movies are just falling off the shelves.
All
Can't
right.
keep them on the shelf screen.
Well, again, that could have been done with some wire also, but
Why did he jump out of the way of that, by the way? See how he jumped back? Like, oh my God. Jump back. What's that sound?
It's almost like he was ready for that to happen. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Anticipating.
No, don't buy that one.
I'd be so pissed off that things wouldn't stay on the shelf that I would just like throw a fit. Oh, everything's falling out, Creed.
You just get up and leave.
Number 1.
Quit my job.
Apparition next to a sleeping boy.
That one, I guess, was just too good. You know what I
Sleeping
mean?
is when we're most vulnerable to attack. Typically, we think of intruders, but what if what's
Paul.
trying to get you is a ghost?
Paul?
The next video comes from CCTV footage taken in Kerala, India. The boy was under surveillance at the time because he had been consistently sleepwalking. However, what the camera caught was something no one expected.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I sleep most of the night.
Watch closely. As the boy sleeps, you can see a mysterious figure moving around him.
Weird.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I think
Quick
that
video.
ghost would be an
It seems
inappropriate.
like this entity may be possessing the boy while he sleeps, and that this is what is causing his
Did he have a
sleepwalking
thumb out,
issues.
did he?
He did. I don't like the way he approached him. And the kid act like it hurt. Watch him. Oh no!
Yeah,
See,
no, that one's
those
pretty
are the
weird.
6 best real ghost videos.
All right, the
Big
first one was my
market
favorite.
that the existence of spirits is alive and
You're
well all around the world.
Mm,
If you enjoyed this video,
I
please
did.
remember to subscribe, as every
I
Sunday
already
we'll
am.
be bringing you a new scary mystery.
And everybody else
Thank
is
you
going
for
to as
watching.
well. So, we're
Well,
all
there you go. That is, we got a master, as they call her.
Creedence. We had a poll today. I actually remember it. The later it gets, the better I'm at remembering things. Apparently, do you believe in ghosts? Creed, how did you vote on that?
I was out checking the traffic and weather together. I clicked yes, and
Do you think ghosts are real?
I mean,
Only
I worked at the Iwo Jima Theater at Rock 105 for many years. Yes.
Creed, let me say this real quick. 106 votes, 81 likes. I don't put these polls up for nothing. Of course, your choices were no, yes, I have seen one. 11% of the 106 of you that voted said you personally have seen
Wow.
a ghost.
Wow. About
If I
that.
do quick math, Creed, that's like, I don't know, 13 people maybe. 27% of you said no, Mikey. There's nothing real about ghosts or dust and electricity. Nothing. But 61%, Creed. 61. That's overwhelming. That's one of the largest margins of a win.
Yeah.
Ghosts are real.
Wow. Got a lot of believers around here.
When I saw their face, Creedence, I knew I was a believer.
A guy named Chills on YouTube.
Yes, I've seen Chills. When he talks like this.
Oh, really?
Next thing you know, there's a where. This is Chills. If you'd like to see my face, follow me on Instagram, and you can see my face.
I gotta say, I love We Got a Mystery. It's something so different than what we usually do.
Frosted Hits that he had to manhandle a ghost.
I like that. Thank you guys, and thank you again for Andrew over at Scary Mysteries. We really appreciate that, and allows us to use his work and kind of read. See, this is a lot of his older stuff.
Yeah, this stuff is from 2017, I think.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, good.
Which I love.
So we got 700 videos to plunder.
700 more episodes at least.
We're good.
Love it.
We're good.
Guys, great crowd tonight. If you're new here, please slap a like on it, subscribe, notifications on. We'll be live tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. East for We Got a Case. Had a big day today with Law Talk with Mike jumping in and hanging out with us for a little bit. You can see Mike and I be kind of like fanboys, like starstruck a little bit.
A little bit.
Because we
Typically,
watch
if
so
I
much of it. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's like, it was kind of a surreal moment when he was like,
Yeah.
boom, right there.
Completely unplanned.
Pretty nice
So.
stuff. But if you would do us a favor, guys, wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Green Day.
I did. Terrible band.
Horrible. If you would do us a favor, like this video. If you're ever on Facebook, follow us. We need you to follow. Liking is great, but following is better. Also sharing out the videos. We appreciate everybody taking time out of their evenings to hang out. We'll be, like he said, be back tomorrow. We'll see you then at 1:00. And anything else, Creed?
Scott, if I just had like a few things knocked out of my hand, out of my hand and stuff like that, like stupid little things. If I could, I don't know if I could handle that.
That's a little much.
I really don't.
Next time our poll had to be, do we have anything to fear from ghosts? And so many of you believe.
I like that, though.
We should now find out if we should be in fear. Lock your doors, kiss your mama.
Yeah.
Not inappropriately, but, to cheat,
Please don't.
something like that.
That's a lot of fun. We'll see everybody tomorrow for We Got a Case, 1:00 East. Yeah, thanks. Fun. I love it.
All right, guys. Till next time. If there is a next time.
Oh, where's my dun dun dun? I was not ready.
Oh, you want to do it again, or that's kind of really
late
good.
for me to try and find that. Oh, I got it. Okay, I'm ready. Let's re-rack it. Do it live.
Until next time, if there is a next time. Please remember.
Before it's too late, please like.
Again, Creed, I don't have an outro. I didn't know we were going to really do the show again. So we're going to look at this. And I will again a cappella us out. I
mean, it's like the third or second one. You should have an outro by now. Jesus.
I'm working on it. I've got a composer working on it.
I bet you Mikey Hack has an outro already for his new mystery show.
Yeah. It's called Watch Out. We Got a Ghost.